I would just challenge that 15% of my audience that says, no, I want a little Novus Ordo. I would just say, look, we're in a crisis. We're in an infiltration. Most Catholics out there do not believe in transubstantiation. They do not believe in the real presence. A lot of this has to do with just how they have seen the Eucharist itself handled for their entire life since they were babies, if they were raised in the church. When you go to the traditional Latin Mass, there is no mistaking it. That little host is God. Period. You could be an atheist, you could be a Mohammedan, you could be a Hindu. When you go into a traditional Latin Mass and you see the care taken for the host, the way people receive the Eucharist, that's God. You know it. You go to the Novus Ordo, and I've shared this before. One of the moments where I said to myself, I'm not going to the Novus Ordo ever again. I went up for communion. I'll be frank where it was. It was at University of Dallas, at the chapel there at the University of Dallas. And the Eucharistic minister was wearing a Grover t-shirt, had an enormous picture of Grover on his chest. That church, if you've ever been to the University of Dallas, it's bare bones. There's no art in it. It's very Protestant. In fact, when we first moved back to Texas, my eldest son, we were in church there. We were at that church, and my son pulled on my shirt and said, "Dad, why are we in a Protestant church? It's a Catholic church. Why are we in a Protestant?" Because he looked around. There was no stained glass. There was no statues. There were no saints. There's no icons. The crucifix there, I'll be frank, is ugly. But I remember in that same place going, because I got my PhD at University of Dallas. It's a Catholic school. And I remember going up to communion, and the Eucharistic minister was a college student. He's wearing a Grover t-shirt. So he comes up, the body of Christ. And as I'm receiving the body of Christ from him, I'm looking into the face of Grover from Sesame Street. Grover from Sesame Street. And I'm like, there's not an icon of St. Michael. There's not an image of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Pure Theotokos. There's not an icon or statue of Peter or Paul, St. Gabriel, nothing. This is a whitewashed room. And when I receive the all-holy of holies, Jesus Christ, true God and true man, in this context, I have to look into the eyes of Grover from Sesame Street. I was like, I'm done.